G'day, g'day, g'day. It's Charlie, and I'm coming to you today from my locals community with your daily dose of business inspiration. Come across and join me at askcharlieleetham.locals.com. You can join the community for free. You can see all the content I put up for free subscribers there. If you want to join in the conversation, if you want to access supporter only content when it goes up, it's $2 US per month. You get to do all of those things. It also helps me to keep creating content like this, like my podcasts, like my tutorials. Let's get on and talk about today's daily dose of business inspiration, though, because that's what you're here for, right? I want to talk today. I've been talking a bit about selling and some of the things that are going on. Let's talk about reading the request, reading the scope of work that comes through. And it might not actually be a scope of work, it might just be an email saying, I'm having all these problems and I need help. It's really important that you read the request that comes through and that you understand it. Notice I've used two things: that you read the request and you understand it, and then that you confirm that understanding. Now, one of the ways I confirm that understanding is to go back to the person who sent me the request and say, I understand that you're asking for these sorts of things. And I send them back what they're asking for, not in their words, but in my words. And I try to be very, very specific about what it is they want to do. It's really important at this point that we highlight that they've got a problem that they're trying to solve. If I go back to building the relationship and establishing the need, the request is part of that. It's establishing the need. What is it that actually, where is their pain point? What is the pain that they are trying to deal with and stop occurring? What is it they want to achieve? They might come back and have a laundry list of things, but they've only got a very small budget. So the important thing there is to work out, well, what is the important things out of that laundry list of things? What is their priority? What's the one thing that's going to make the biggest difference to everything they're doing? Maybe they don't know. Maybe they're asking you to tell them. Maybe they do know, but they don't know how to say it. Maybe they just don't even understand that these things can be broken down into little packages that can be addressed over time. Now, I found that last approach works perfectly well in about 80% of the cases. But I do want to give you an example of when requests aren't read and the sorts of frustrations that can occur. When I send out a request for work, I will go overseas occasionally, or I will put it out and people from overseas will respond. And one of the things that I put in there is that please quote in Australian dollars. I don't want you to quote me in US dollars. I don't say that. I say, please quote in Australian dollars. Invariably, if I go overseas or someone from overseas comes to me and says, here's a quote for you, they will quote me in US dollars. Now, that's useless to me. And the reason it's useless to me, and they don't understand this, is that our exchange rate varies so often and so much that today what might be a favorable exchange rate, when I go to pay them, is an execrable exchange rate, and it costs me a lot more money. It could be costing me 10 to 15% more to pay them than when we first started. So I like to quote in Australian dollars because that's my baseline. I charge my clients in Australian dollars. I quote in Australian dollars. I want to have my money coming in Australian dollars. Now, invariably, they will miss that and they don't understand the importance of it. They don't come back and say, "Oh, look, we can't do it in Australian dollars, but here's what we can do. We can come up with some arrangement." No, it's just US dollars. Am I gonna, is this in US? Oh, in fact, they don't even specify it's US dollars. So I could assume that it's Australian dollars because I've said quote me in Australian dollars. I wouldn't do that though. So I go back and say, is this Australian dollars? Oh no, it's US. Well, that tells me a couple of things. One is you haven't read my request. Two, you haven't bothered to dig down on why that's in the request, if it's important and whether it's important to me or not. And three, I'm less likely to deal with you because I've asked for that as a specific within my quote. Yeah, I'm being a little harsh, but it goes a long way to determining who is going to be able to work with me and work with my style of communication, work with my style of business, and who is prepared to move a little and actually understand how my business works and how I need it to work so that I can achieve my goals. We can do the same with our clients. We can read their requests. We can go back and we can ask them to clarify things that we're not quite sure of. We can ensure we understand what their pain points are. We can start to prioritize their pain points and work out what is going to give them, excuse me, the biggest bang for buck, if so to speak. So, you can come up with things and you can work out a way of moving forward and help them budget to get the work they need done. That's just my thoughts on it, though. What do you think? Am I talking rubbish? Am I talking crap? Would you do it somewhere else? Would you just do it some other way? Is there something I've missed? Leave some comments below. Come across and join me at Locals and join the conversation there. AskCharlyLeetham.locals.com. And remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you find out when I drop more content. If you can leave a review, please leave a review and please share this content with others. Help the word get out there. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow.